In this video, I'll walk you through the process of launching OmniFocus on your Mac for the first time, and we'll give you a tour of the user interface. I already have OmniFocus installed, and will launch the app by clicking the OmniFocus icon in my dock. The first time you launch OmniFocus, you'll be greeted with a welcome dialog, and given the option to either keep your OmniFocus data in the cloud, so it can be shared with other Macs and iOS devices, or to keep the data locally stored on your Mac. If you'd like to keep your data in the cloud, you can use a free service from the Omni group called the OmniSync server. If you already have an OmniSync server account, you can click the Keep Data in the Cloud button and enter your account name. If you don't already have an OmniSync server account, you can create one by clicking the Sign Up button. You'll find a separate video on Learn OmniFocus that walks you through the process of creating an OmniSync server account. For now, we'll store the data locally. We can always move it to an OmniSync server account later. I'll click the left arrow, and then click Keep Data Here Only to create an OmniFocus database on this Mac. Next, you'll be presented with some resources to help you get acquainted with OmniFocus 2. I'll skip these for now by pressing the right arrow, and you can access these resources later if needed through the Help menu in OmniFocus and by visiting the Omni Group's website at omnigroup.com. And here we are in OmniFocus 2. There are two editions of OmniFocus, the Standard Edition and the Pro Edition. If you're using the free trial version of OmniFocus, you can choose which edition you'd like to evaluate by going to the OmniFocus menu and selecting Free Trial Mode. For now, we're going to stick with the Standard Edition, and we'll look at the Pro features in future videos. I'll start by giving you a quick tour of the OmniFocus interface. The OmniFocus window is divided into 4 distinct sections. Along the top of the window is the toolbar, which can be used to access frequently used functionality within OmniFocus. Along the left of the window is the sidebar, and this gives you the opportunity to see different views of your projects and tasks. And then the main area of the window is where you'll interact with these projects and tasks. And then there's a fourth area that's hidden at the moment, that's the inspector, and we'll look at that in just a moment. The Projects tab is currently selected, and the sidebar shows a list of projects in my OmniFocus database. Projects are essentially ways of grouping related tasks. This could be specific actions that will move you towards a defined project outcome, or one-off actions in a specific area of life. This is a brand new database that contains a project called Get Started with OmniFocus, which is provided to help familiarize you with OmniFocus's features and user interface. Let's check off the specific tasks in this project as we continue to explore the OmniFocus interface. At the very top of the content area, you'll see the name of the project. There's a disclosure triangle that allows you to hide and reveal tasks within the project, and an icon indicating what type of project this is. We'll look at project types in a future video. There's a button that allows you to add notes to a project. And this can be useful if you want to add details, for instance, about the project's objective. I'm just going to hide that for now. There's also an indication of how many tasks are remaining in the project. Then over on the right, we can defer this project to a future date. So if this is something that you either can't or don't plan on working on until a future date, you can enter that date here. We can also give this project a due date. For now, we're going to leave both of these fields blank. Now let's look at the specific tasks contained within the Get Started with OmniFocus project. I'll start by selecting the first task. The top portion of the selection is the name of the task, and over to the right there's a status circle that indicates the status of this item. Right now it's showing that the task is incomplete. The bottom line allows you to add a note to the task and to specify task attributes including the context, defer date, and due date. I can flag a task to indicate that it's especially important by clicking to the upper right of the status circle. Notice that the status circle changes to orange to indicate that this is a flagged task. Finally, I'll mark this task complete by clicking on the status circle. The next task contains a note that can be revealed by clicking on the note icon. It lets us know that we can show and hide all notes by choosing Show or Hide All Notes from the View menu. I'll mark this task complete as well. OmniFocus has a handy feature called Groups that allows you to group related tasks within a project. In this example, there's a group called Start Adding Tasks and To-Dos that contains 4 tasks, and I can hide and reveal the contents of this group by clicking on the disclosure triangle. As is the case with tasks, groups can have a note and can be assigned a specific context, defer date, and due date. If I click the status circle and mark a group complete, all tasks within the group will automatically be marked complete. I'll undo that change for now by going to the Edit menu and choosing Undo. Now let's work our way through the tasks in this group. I'll add an action to the project by clicking the New Action button in the toolbar and giving this task a name. This task really belongs in the Learn More About OmniFocus group, so I'm going to click to select the task and then drag it to the appropriate place in that group. And I'll mark that task complete and move on to the next task. I'll create a new project by going to the File menu and choose New Project. And you'll notice that a second project appears in the sidebar. I'll call this project Planned Trip to Vancouver. We'll go back to our Get Started with OmniFocus project and mark that one complete. And the next task is a nice easy one. It simply involves checking the status circle to mark it complete. The fourth task references the inspector that I mentioned earlier. I notice this task has a note. It lets me know that I can reveal the inspector either by clicking the Inspect button in the toolbar or by choosing Show Inspector from the View menu. In a nutshell, the inspector gives you detailed options for the selected task, group, project, or context. For example, if a task is selected, you can specify the estimated time for the task and make this a repeating task. We'll look at the inspector in more detail in future videos. For now, I'm just going to change the status from active to complete, which is equivalent to clicking on the status circle. Now that I've completed everything in the group, I'll mark the group complete by clicking its status circle. And I can hide all completed tasks and groups by clicking the Cleanup button in the toolbar. If I want to see these completed tasks in the future, I can click on the View button and then change the filter from Remaining to All, and the completed tasks are revealed once again. I'll change this back to Remaining so I can clearly see what tasks are remaining in my project. And then I'll click the View button in the toolbar to hide these options. The Learn More About OmniFocus group includes a list of excellent resources to help you learn more about OmniFocus. There's in-app help that's available through the Help menu, and an OmniFocus manual in the iBookstore. There's also plenty of information available through the OmniFocus website. The specific links are included in the notes field of this sample project. And be sure to visit learnomnifocus.com regularly to tap into the growing library of content, including best practices for using OmniFocus effectively. I'm Tim Stringer from Learn OmniFocus. Thanks for watching.